Welcome to another episode of At Your Disclosure. This is your host, Alex Ruben Tobar. The mic. Bring you the scoop. Those want to leave it at a certain number. And this is the sound of a song gets stabbed. It's definitely a shriek you didn't make. And you will be stabbed. This edition is titled Hora Marcada. It's titled Angel of Death. You fuck with me and you fuck with death. Live on 2629 West San Miguel Avenue. You didn't cause someone a cardiac arrest. Walking around the whole neighborhood. Angel of Death. So anyways. Man, speaking of that, I was out with one of my girls from Longview Elementary. I've known her since like the second grade all the way to like the sixth grade. I'm getting it. Sales are over on Instagram. Last time I had gotten a hold of her, I told her about someone done erased all my highlights on my Facebook. This is my favorite part here. Usually this is a chugging part. I got a beer, but I got an imaginary can. Because I got big hands. If you enjoy Slayer, you remember Slayer and Marilyn Manson. 2008. Man, both my boy, Aaron, my brother George. We didn't go to that concert and freak, man, we went wounded. Bad idea, man. We're dehydrated, wounded. My boy trying to get himself a brewski. You know, we were boys at one point. Now it's, you know, you got to realize for what it is. But even last year on my birthday, which brings to the attention of my annuals about to be in a few days. We're still in August, so we're gonna celebrate like it's 1999. Don't you wanna go? And yeah, man, I freaking cried because, well, my wife was supposed to come and at the last minute, you know, decided to hang out for other friends, and they used to be buying this. It's real unfortunate, but like I said, I guess some people, popularity is real important, but to me, it's all about standing your ground, knowing yourself, and never selling out. You know, living at the San Miguel house, southbound off of Bethany. Oh, we gotta rewind this part. But then again, I don't know if it's gonna be kid friendly. I mean, a freaking Slayer done played on this freaking. Cause if Pop don't mind, and Mama don't mind. But yeah, freaking southbound off 27th Avenue in Bethany on San Miguel Ave. We had a herd of dogs. You know, you'd have a neighbor down the street complain. I heard. Neighbor down the street's like, shit. Even I heard that. So freaking, we go to the concert, us three. Guy in the gray shirt to the right, myself, the Punisher in the middle, then my brother. Big pun. Hit you with the big guns. Little brown hairs everywhere. And it's funny how people are. But Caroline Benjamin Rhodey did get me a San Juan, Puerto Rico tank top when she had gone to San Juan, Puerto Rico. She'd go to Barbados. She'd go to England. Go to Mexico too. I'm trying to remember if it's Acapulco. But she'd always bring us t-shirts, and that was real nice of my Aunt Rhodey, Caroline Bajent. rest in peace. I'm thinking. That's what ended up happening to her. I haven't heard from her in a minute. But this Tabayada, some chili. Oh, well, the freaking at that concert, man, they had the upside down speakers when Slayer came out, and it was freaking awesome. But before that, my boy didn't get himself a beer. He's Native American. He's 3/4. Bird Creek. That's funny. Wipey Katie Chris wouldn't call him Birdski. He got mad. And then Annette soda then take care of her. But freaking we had to wipe the blood off the floor. But at the same time too, man, freaking what do you expect from daddy being a freaking MCSO working corrections? It's myself, freaking humble beginnings, you didn't start somewhere to qualify. But at the same time too, man, freaking depending on what you're doing, most of the time it's babysitting. And yeah, man, we had some natives. He's a 3/4 Birdski. Oh no. He is 2. Oh, I remember now. He's half Birdski, Bird Creek, and quarter Isleta, and a quarter white. I believe his father's side of the family is from I want to say either Michigan. I believe Michigan. Tribe out there in Michigan, and yeah, man, we used to be the best of friends, so we got hammered the night before. And freaking, we had some natives freaking seat hopping. Then some native freaking, man, he just bought this beer, placed it on his cup holder. This native freaking steps on it, seat hopping, and he just dogs him like, ah! Now you need some lugs for that. But, you know what I'm saying, freaking, yeah, man. I'd have lemon dropped his ass. You know, in self-defense, you can't hold all your life, oh my god, he lemon dropped the native. It could have been whoever, man. Self-defense. And you gotta think about it, too. Out of reaction, a lot of times, it's a response that we all do, like yelling at someone, sometimes out of response. So I didn't tell my sister, I told my brother, hey man, you know something, because a couple months ago I got hit in the eye real bad by my niece Bella, and yeah, man, to this day it's still friggin', I feel pressure inside it. But there it goes, you don't step on a nail. Yeah, no, you need some lungs for that. But yeah, man, I'll tell my brother, well, I already kicked everyone out, so friggin', that's all I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna call the Potos and tell, hey man, well, they haven't left. They told me it's been over freaking years already, like over 2 years. I haven't had to get a hold of child services. Who's that? Budsman, ombudsman. Man, I can't even pronounce that name, but you know what I'm trying to tell you, ombudsman. And freaking, it's a work in progress. When I didn't call the cops and shit, they came, but from the looks of it, they were told that that someone had mistakenly called them, which is BS, because I called again, it was busy, and I was just, alright, well, you know, I guess I'm being a little too strict. You know, she's like, alright, we're gonna leave it a month, just waiting for somebody. And I told her, alright, then, well, I'm not gonna be as strict as I need to be, but, you know, freaking months pass, and ombudsman, I started thinking of something else. Yeah, this part here is the freaking drinking part. This is the moneymaker. I used to take my girl when we were dating. We used to go to the park up the street from her house at the Glendale house, GCU. And man, I cranked this in my 97 Crown Victoria, and basically, you know, she's sitting next to me, and you just think of an old geyser. You didn't go to the beat, freaking just. Well, anywho, it's gonna be young and going fast. And yeah, one time, man, I had left my boy at the San Miguel house. I went over to visit my girl, Jessie, the Glendale house. And when I came back, he was pissed off. I'm like, hey man, I let you drink in my house, and you know, you're in my room. You could use up the Wii, the Xbox 360, whatever you want. We have internet. At the time, it was high-speed internet, so we were one of the first with the high-speed internet. So we were on 20th Street, Virginia. We made the move. Ended up moving towards Mount Rhodey later on, but still, yeah, he was pissed, and so I had to drive like 80, drop him off at his house by Longview, and I don't understand, I'm thinking, even back there when I had this other girl named Ashley Martinez, freaking, he'd be all pissy fit about it. Oh, that she's this, she's that. It was like, hey man, freaking, I thought you'd be happy for me. You were to tell me like, oh well, freaking, there's this girl. Well, I want to be a lawyer. I'll be like, hey man, go for it, man. I freaking support you in all your endeavors. For shizzle, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand how some people could be that way, but like I said, there's a world in every head. And yeah, man, freaking clean record. I'd go around the neighborhood pissed off because a lot of times, well, my sister's underage, I'm more protective, or my wife and I. That's why I put a rig on it, because I'm like, all right, then, well, if you tell me I'm gonna go with my friends, but I'll be here by like 11, 2300, I'll be like, all right, then sure. And at first it was like that. I didn't care, because that's how a relationship should be. There's no ownership of anyone, but if you lie often enough, just like the Ouija board, you get undermined when you ask frivolous questions. Do you care if I go with Mickey to her grandmother's? Or do you care if I go with Agnes, means Lamb of God? And it's almost, to me, it's almost like, do you care if I cheat on you? And it's like, look, I don't even care if you go, because you're an adult. I got with you when you're 18. But the problem is telling me you're going to be here at a certain time and coming home like at 3, 4 in the morning when you said 2300. So I'm here at the condo. So now it's on 17th Avenue with Camelback, like, hey, well, freaking, the door's going to be closed for good. And a lot of times we'd end up in that situation. Oh, do you care if I go to my mom's, take care of my younger brother? So I'm like, we live together now. Why would you need to go babysit when they've never needed a babysitter before? And even when we started dating, I'd work 1 week at the ballpark home games, and another week I'd get like 3-4 days off. And I'd stay at home, and it's like her little brothers were the age between like kindergarten to like 3rd, 4th grade. And it's like, you guys trust me this much? Freaking, you go out with your friends, and when we can spend time, because most of the time I was, working 13, 16 hours a day, but I'm whatever. Freaking, it's unbelievable. But I don't understand how people didn't turn on you, or the way they think. A lot of sacrifices. She doesn't have a pink eye. And I'd go to the Bethany Home Hospital. I'm trying to remember the name of it, on 19th Avenue and Bethany Home. She had a pink eye, and luckily she had insurance, so it wasn't that bad. But look at this handsome devil. You should have seen myself back in the days. Anywho, it's not what I used to be. Ain't what it used to be. But, still alive, still kicking, and it's time to make a change. I had announced that I was running for state senator, say future is the plan there. So what is it going to take to get there? There's a lot of obstacles. It's not going to be easy. No one ever said fuck holding Anthony Quinn, but at the same time too, it's almost like coming back to Phoenix, you would think all your supporters, all the people you were raised with. But same thing too with my people from elementary, middle school, and high school, and college, that it's good to see old friends. And maybe sometimes they would exaggerate if I don't feature maybe like a slight bit of them. And it's almost like, it's no secret. We all went to Longview. We all were raised together. To freaking, I don't understand why even get involved. I remember there was this short ass kid named Fernando and his brother Alfredo. They're both real short. And when I attended Longview in 2nd grade from Crockett, I freaking got jumped by John Pena and Anthony Emerson, 2 natives. So the taller John Pena was holding me from the back, and Anthony ran towards me. So I friggin' kicked him right in the balls hard too. And John Pena friggin' headbutted him and shit. And after that, everybody tried to freaking go after me. But then again, they were probably there since like kindergarten. So I was they were treating me like the new kid. So I told myself, like, damn, man, freaking, that's how Crockett was, too. They used to joke my brother when I speaking English and shit. Fuck it. They used to be like, oh, you wetback and this and that. And it's like, fuck, you know, you hear someone speaking a different language and you're already assuming shit. You know, it's a free country, freedom of speech, even if the Constitution's written in English. But at the same time, too, it's almost like, fuck, man. That's how Arizona is, and that's one thing I've noticed moving back from Nevada. Yeah, Phoenix is interesting, because I used to have my faith back in the day. I used to go to Shane's Barbershop. Or on 16th Street at Southern, I believe. There was a barber school, Dave Weddle. He was a pretty boy and shit. You got sticky fingers. So freaking, we'd get our wig split. We'd go to Shane's, go to Douglas. There was this little, she was good looking too. Food City on McDowell and 51. There was like this like a K-Mobile, but it had all kinds of accessories, including speakers. That's where my boys get the speakers from, both him and Tim. It's Tim. Speaking of 1,000 Ebenezer trying to be Jesus, that's Moose Shock right there for you. Basically trying to say that just because you have money doesn't mean that you're above anyone, man. We all freaking bleed. We all have the same basic needs and wants. And with that being said, freaking it's time to do some old American public. But yeah, so for no reason, the third grade, Fernando freaking ran. Him in the back of the head, but took off running real fast. So I was like, hey, man. And I started noticing they would try to do that and take off running. So I'm like, all right, then, man, I can't, you know, it's getting tired, you know, you think about it, you're like, fuck, you know, this is how it was at Crockett, and, you know, you come home and your childhood is what you make out of it. I mean, I had to grow up real fast. My brother lost a fight once, and that's why I go by Cable. And I'll tell you something, you see the negative before the C in Cable with the 3 dots, it's basically you remove the C, and you're able, because you can't pretend that oranges are apples, also known at the Phoenix office as ACE. So you're able to do whatever you envision. If you see it, you can achieve it. Most definitely is the powers of attraction. So, you know, things happen for a reason. And what happened is I started reading. I would go into the library, it's real hot, and you know, I would exercise even at an early age, man. Freaking on the monkey bars, we did this whole course thing, and I loved it. Had a lot of good friends, played soccer, basketball, football. There was always like this little race war and shit, even from young. But I chill in the library with one of my good friends from elementary, Michael M. It's called Michael M&M's, and James Lanier. So yeah, man, we used to read all kinds of Shel Silverstein book from The Light in the Attic, with the Sidewalk Heads, and what else? Freaking The Giving Tree, and Fred the Cat joke book. I have to tell Mr. Woolwall, yeah, this has a cuss word on it. It says dick. I realize that's what you call Richards. And also, if you need someone found, just let me know. I'd find anyone in this world, dead or alive. And I had posted on my Facebook too. I need to go back and edit some of it, because it's basically you get a glimpse of the human psyche, and you discover exactly. And I got real good. I get, you know, at predicting and figuring out on site, and then without certain abilities, attributes, you can read body language and clusters. As Joe Navarro, FBI special agent, done put it, he's from Cuba. Being a Cuban immigrant in the United States, he wouldn't know what the English speakers were saying, the Americans, but he would definitely understand through the body languages. So you can kind of tell, you can sense that intuition on without knowing. And so, yeah, freaking, we went to the YMCA as we got older, the 5th grade, and I was way taller and bulkier, bigger. And that's what ended up happening. Is I started just exercising, telling myself, "Hey man, you know I'm a real nice person for the most part, but out of reaction, I'll defend myself. I have to. You know, if you took off running, that tells you everything, man. Freaking never in my life." And I told Jeanette over voicemail on Instagram. Most of the time, all the time, they take advantage of me when I'm asleep, man. I wake up hurting. I tell my folks, I have a camera here, but what's gonna stop someone from just going in there and turning the camera and just taking advantage? You know, like I said, I don't have a family anymore. You don't freaking, I don't understand what's their change. They used to be real good people. I sell tamales for them, fucking cheese, menudo, ceviche, colchas, you know, parking swap, door to door, Roger Puga's neighborhood, Theo Five's neighborhood, you know, the 20th Street in Virginia, Caroline Benjo sells Matt Rody, tamales in an ice chest. I used to go to Longview and take the bus. I was telling you that when we stood on 9th Avenue and between Rosary and Broadway, as well as 20th Street in Virginia, I take the bus on foot, so you'd have to take like 3-4 buses, Central bus mainly, and yeah, man, I seen people get jumped on the city bus when I was in Longview Elementary. You know, this Doble, this guy kept, and usually it's a little short guy, always instigating, and he thinks he's big because he got all his friends. He's all, I forgot, I guess he was dogging them in the past, and they jump him, and he climbs on top of the rail and starts, like, Kung Lao kick, you know, the bicycle kick, Liu Kang kick and shit, but, yeah, man, I don't understand, man, I thought we were cool at the end of the day, because, you know, Fernando and I would talk, and his brother, too, he would sit in front of me at the auditorium, and he'll be like, they're funny, man, they'd be like, hip-hop hooray, you're ho, you're hey, and to just trying to be popular, you know, the bag like that fucking loser. Watch when I catch my ass. I catch his ass. But no one has ever stepped up to me, and I told you that too, that arm gives you power. But if I realized I never needed a weapon to freaking defend myself, I've never lost a fight in my life. Well, actually, I'd have, but not standing. Well, actually, I don't remember the last time I ever losing a fight, to be honest with you. And I told her, taking advantage of my sleep is cowardice. So there's no respect for cowards. And yeah, man, freaking pops, and it just constantly threatens. And it's unfortunate, but like I said, I think there's more good than bad people. You know, at the end of the day, you'll discover who you really are, and you'll realize, hey, you know, it's immature of me. And that's how it happens. Most of the time, you think you're on top of the world. You think you got support, you know, this vicious cycle. But as you get older, you start realizing, like, hey, man, you know something? I feel my mortality. I could freaking croak. I wake up almost every morning feeling like shit, man. The best thing in life was in front of me and finally realizing it. And now I wake up hurting like, hey, man, I wish, you know, God would have blessed me again. When I used to get down on my knees and pray, you know, I felt His presence and it was beautiful. It's one thing that it's been instilled in me, and even if my mother now and brother don't believe in it, they consider it fairy tale. You know, I can't help who I am, man. Just like all of us, you can't change the person who you are. That's the person you are for the rest of your life once you get to the age of 5. But my brother had lost a fight when we stood at some trailer park, and he lost it to Alejandro, and eyewitness and he's the witness. He got murdered by Miami. He was into some heavy shit, and yeah, freaking speaking of, but at the same time too, man, freaking you know, my brother can't stand him because he lied to him. He had told him, oh, well, Alex jumped in and Isidro, they beat me up. That's why I lost the fight. He had his nose bloody nose. Well, Dad didn't give a fuck, man. He grabbed he grabbed the cord out of the stereo, fucking just ripped it out, so angered, fucking cokehead, and just started fucking whipping us. I got the worst out of it. And the worst thing about it is when it's out of anger. That's how most decisions go to waste. So basically, it's like if he just took... That's why I go by cable, because it was ripped out, so this could have been split, but getting hit with this type of material, So that's why I go by cable, because of not being able to speak English. I was lacerated in the first grade, I believe, or kindergarten. I'm trying to remember exactly. But I told my teacher, said, yeah, my daddy hit me with the cabbage. I'm trying to say cable. So, being considered the man out of time, the name's Cable. I hope that time is all we have until we realize our true potential, instead of listening to the next loser when you had all day to freaking change what you could better yourself from, Luckily, I believe I was around 5 or so. They consider in psychology that your ego's already been developed, the person you are. Either that, I just grew up at that day. But even before that, I almost knew the difference between good and bad. That's how you determine an inexperienced adult, once you realize the difference between right and wrong. But each person's unique and distinctive in their own way. So, leaving you on that note, stay safe, and you fuck with me, you fuck with death.